folks, as much as we try to treat our celebrity guests nicely here, and we really do, sometimes, and we gotta mention this, just to be honest, sometimes something happens during an interview or behind the scenes, and somebody, one of these famous people, gets a little bit upset with us. And it's happened a few times over the years. Famous celebrities getting mad at the show, get you and me.
They're an odd bunch, you know.
Yeah.
You're gonna ruffle some feathers.
So, you know, when this happens, whenever this happens, you got to have as many people on your side as possible to make one of these 12:30 shows really hum, which we haven't done yet, but you'll see. When this happens, I always make sure that the first thing I do when I find out they're upset is I write an apology letter so we can smooth over any hurt feelings, and it's kind of a nice gesture.
It's a nice, I mean, my idea was to call them and tell them to shove it, but you insisted on these apology letters.
We'll try yours next week, yeah. Well, anyway, I thought it'd be fun tonight to take a look back at some of these apology notes that we've sent out over the last few years in a little segment we're going to call Apology Letters.
I'm sorry, so sorry.
That was my I'm sorry face.
I figured.
It's also my I just wet myself face. They go together.
Yeah.
All right, for example, remember we had Vice President Al Gore on the show?
How could I forget, of course.
Yeah, a while ago, and he was not happy, so I sent him this apology letter. Dear Vice President Gore, my deepest apologies for falling asleep during the interview. Unfortunately, the stagehand responsible for poking me with the electric cattle prod had also fallen asleep during the interview. Sincerely. I think that made him happy, don't you?
I should think so.
Nicole Kidman was on the show very recently, promoting the new film, and she wasn't happy, so I wrote her this note. Dear Nicole, I'm sorry I kept referring to the taut psychological thriller you're starring in with Tom Cruise, Eyes Wide Shut, as, quote, the one where we finally see your sweet yodel patch. Yours truly, Conan O'Brien. Yes, she has a farm. All right. Hillary Clinton. She's going to run, of course, for the Senate in New York, and she was on the show recently, and something happened. I got to apologize. So I wrote this. Dear Mrs. Clinton, I realize now it was awkward and inappropriate to have Mayor Giuliani do a surprise walk-on during your appearance here, not because he'll be your opponent in the Senate race, but because he, too, had an affair with your husband. Sincerely, Conan O'Brien. Spike Lee recently on the show. Remember that?
And you made him mad?
Yeah, and then I had to write this letter. Look at this. Dear Spike, sorry about all the stupid questions during the interview. I guess I just assumed your new movie, Summer of Sam, was about my hero, Sam Donaldson. Sincerely, Conan O'Brien. We do a volume business here. We're on every night. Queen Elizabeth. Remember when she was on the show?
Oh, of course I do. That was great.
And remember, these aren't fake. That was a great night. Well, I had to write her this apology letter. Dear Queen Elizabeth, sorry we couldn't meet all your dressing room demands. There simply wasn't enough time to get both the beer bong and the Sir Farts-a-Lot hat. Sincerely, Conan O'Brien. And then it turns out we have the hat. Yeah. Well, you had it. Remember we had Entertainment Tonight film critic Leonard Maltin on the show?
Sure.
We had Leonard Maltin on, and I have to write him this letter afterwards. Dear Leonard, sorry about the mix-up. We had no idea that you were that Leonard Maltin. Sincerely, Conan O'Brien. And then shortly afterwards, I wrote this letter, actually, just today. I wrote it to tonight's audience. Dear tonight's audience, sorry my writers convinced me to do a Leonard Maltin joke. My deepest apologies. Senator Bob Dole, remember when we had Dole on the show?
Yep, he's been on a few times.
Bob Dole's been on several times, but there was one appearance where I had to write him an apology letter afterwards. Dear Senator Dole, I apologize for repeatedly punctuating your interview with shouts of, hey, old man, how about setting me up with some of them boner pills? Respectfully, Conan O'Brien.
Respectfully.
It was the respectfully that got me off the hook. And then finally, I had to write this note to Britney Spears after She was on the show recently, but I think I patched things up. Dear Brittany, I'm sorry that when you mentioned your SATs, I assumed you were referring to your super artificial tatas. Yours truly. Oh, they look nice, actually. All right, we've had a little bit of fun. We got to get on to the rest of the show.
Absolutely.
We got a lot of stuff to do. Folks, when we come back, Dan Rather's here. We got the South Park guys here. Tom Petty is in the building.